Okay, we got another one coming up, and we got another quick tactical game because we all like those. So this one is a 10-minute game from the Hourly Rapid Arena on Lichess, and white is 1800 and black is 2200. So this is important because I'm going to start off with this opening is the Stonewall attack. Now, if you've seen some of my videos on facing the Stonewall Dutch, the Stonewall attack is not that much better. I feel that objectively, with good play, black has, or with best play, we'll say black has a number of different lines where he can take an advantage out of the opening, or in the very least get the better part of equality. Now that being said, it is a fun opening to play in rapid and blitz time controls, and I'm a big fan of mixing it up. I mean, I have chapters in some of my books which are on the more speculative side. They're for surprise value. And great authors like Simon Williams has made an excellent living off of recommending these types of surprise value type openings. And this is a big misnomer, I think, in the chess community right now. Everyone with an engine is like, it's no, the engine says no. But honestly, can you prove it? Because surprise value assumes that you don't know. So this is over the board versus correspondence chess. So please keep this in mind as you're selecting openings, that not all openings are created equal. I mean, even one of my favorite openings, the King's Indian Defense, or say, even a better example, the Czech Benoni. I've done an entire series on the Czech Benoni, and the engine laughs at many of the positions where out of the opening, white is a pawn and a half in the green, and we've barely maybe traded a pawn. It's just getting crushed by the engine. But it's playable. Players like Grandmaster Yasser Seirawan got away with playing it for the better part of a decade. So keep in mind, what is your threshold for risk? I think is a good way to put it. So without further ado, let's jump right into this game. And right here on move 2 is already a pause moment. If you're black, this move telegraphs intent for one of my least favorite positions to play if I'm playing 1d5, and that's the Kali system. Now, there's nothing wrong with the Kali system. I'm just it's boring to me. I'm going to be completely honest. I hate having to try to make a win from a boring position. Now, if somebody's playing a Dutch by any color, I'm always excited to play a Dutch because you're going to get an imbalanced structure. And with imbalanced structures, you're going to be able to have winning chances. Now, I like black's next move. But after bishop d3, we have a clear moment here. Because I think black was just playing quickly. Since it's a rapid arena, maybe he was berserking. I don't know. I don't have that data. But we're going to follow a line that I suggested in my aggressive Queen's Gambit Decline course on Chessable here. This is important because if white played the normal f4 in my text, I recommend bishop f5 followed by e6. And you get this colors reverse Dutch type situation. And the thing to remember in the Stonewall, which the characteristic Stonewall structure is pawn on c3, d4, e3, f4, or the inverse, f5, e6, c6, where bad bishop, good bishop, bad bishop. Our goal is to trade off our bishop for his bishop. So bishop f5 here is a good move because we are happy to go ahead and clip the b. There's no big attack in white's future. With bishop d3, on the other hand, it's like, okay, I'm stopping your bishop from going to f5. I appreciate that. Now in the main game, I think black made a huge strategic error here with e6. The move that I recommend in my course is c5, put some pressure. Now knight c6. And on f4, bishop g4. You get your bishop outside the chain. As we saw in the last video with the French, if your bishop gets hemmed in, and you don't get the activity that you need, you just have a very difficult position to play. In this case, it's funny that with white on move 5, the engine already prefers black by a decent chunk of change. And we have the follow-up idea of going bishop h5, bishop g6, and getting rid of a strong attacking bishop. Of course, after something like e6. But you get my point here. Very, very important stuff. Do that. e6, on the other hand, it's not going to bode well because white is going to be able to get his dream ideal position, which we see here. And I feel like black can't just be on autopilot. He's just kind of making moves to develop and get a game. You got to put pressure on openings, and especially the things that are more odd, like the Stonewall attack. So I like knight g4 here to mix things up. And it's an important moment, giving a tickle to the pawn. If the natural move queen e2 happens, we have c takes d4, and the important point is that you want to capture back with the e-pawn, but in this case, we'll be attacking the f-pawn. So after cd4, we're getting great play after knight b4. So that was just with natural moves, just applying a bit of pressure. Now an unnatural move is knight e5, and it's starting to get a bit interesting here. Because now, knight takes e3, you have to give up your strong bishop, but we got a pawn in hand, and we've got a dynamic position where we got a pawn, but it's kind of like our last game. I wouldn't prefer this for black, but knight g4 is active. It does something. b6 that was played in the game, it just develops, but we're going to run into problems pretty quick here. Knight e5, this coaxes bishop b7. Like, honestly, you would love to be able to play like a5, bishop a6, and get rid of that bishop, because this bishop is a monster. But knight e5 coaxes you to play that. And then I have some people going, well, why not take? This is a dream position again. You've given up your good bishop, and it's a free attack. We can lift. This is how you get mated. Typically, you want to play around the strong knight that is posted, or kick it out with f6 at some point. So bishop b7, queen f3, catassels, knight d7, and I was okay with this move. I mean, honestly, I would rather see knight e7, where we have the potential to drop an e4, say if queen h3, knight e4, we're at least shutting down the attack. We can play f6 or f5. This is probably the best way for black to go at this point, but knight d7 was played, and after a4, an absolutely terrible blunder, which is going to end the game, happens here. And this is the thematic attack that happens in the Stonewall. What black should have played is f5, again, focusing on shutting down this bishop. Now black can come back, and he's got a post square of his own, and we've got a dynamically balanced position. But f6 took place. Now, if you're a pause your video type of person, this is the moment to pause and figure out what to do. All right, hopefully you took a quick pause, and you saw the beautiful move that was played in the game. Bishop takes h7. Where black really doesn't have any good options here. King h8 is met by queen h5. So king takes h7, queen h3. I imagine queen h5 is pretty good as well, but queen h3, queen takes e6. Makes a lot of sense. Rook f3 with the lift. Lift looks good. And black's trying to defend, but let's be honest, this just isn't going to happen. Everybody's involved. And we have the one move mate here. But our hero of the day decided to take the B because, you know, why not? Be a little greedy while our opponent's on the run. And he gets the mate anyway a few moves later. So again, I'm really enjoying doing the viewer game analysis. So please send in some more stuff. I'm happy to go through the games. I find them very interesting. And like I said, I give bonus points to lines that I like and bonus points to lines that I personally don't play and haven't covered too in depth because we get more ideas. And that's kind of what this channel is all about. Let's teach a little bit. All right, thank you for your contributions, guys.